Hello everyone, in the previous video I mentioned that I played Mobile Legends and I thought it would be fun to make the heroes in doll form, so I decided to start this series. Not me abandoning a doll repaint series for another yet again. A little bit about the game. I thought Mobile Legends was the mobile version of League of Legends, but apparently it's a lawsuit. Yikes. Now, I'm not a good player or anything, I mean here's my stats. It sucks. Sure, I enjoy playing the game, but I love the character designs more than anything else. The first hero we're going to make is Roger. The reason why I picked him first is because he was the first hero that I used regularly. Okay, let's get into it. For the base, we'll be using Hunter Huntsman from Ever After High, again. And yes, I changed my setup. Start by cutting the hair shorter. Submerge the head in hot water. Yank it off the body. Clean off the scalp. Here I'm using cuticle pusher. Now with acetone, remove the flocking and the factory paint. Okay, the head is clean, put it aside. Now let's cut the body in half because he's getting that parry treatment. Remove the arms by cutting around the shoulders. Get rid of the excess pieces. Trim the pegs. Cut the upper arms in halves. Leave the forearms as they are for now because we're going to do something different to them later. Cut the upper and lower legs. We'll rebuild him to become taller. Drill holes under the armpits. I created these two loops out of wire for the armatures of the new arm sockets. With hot glue, create like a web in the empty area to support the future epoxy. Do that to both sides and they look like this. We're going to lengthen the upper arms. I already drilled some holes and we're going to connect the parts with wire. Fill up the space with hot glue and tin foil. Here's what they look like. And here's the legs. Now do the same thing to the torso. Now we can cover the additions with epoxy. I also apply more epoxy inside the torso for reinforcement. Carve slits in the shoulders. Drill holes that go across the slits. Insert a strong wire in there so it intersects with the slit. Cover up the openings and sculpt the upper arms further. Let's complete the sculpting of the body, adding details and all, you know. I keep sculpting until I get the silhouette right. I think I went through like 3 or 4 phases. After you're done sculpting, you can sand it. You know, I always think my sculpting job is shit, but after sanding, it looks presentable. So I would say sanding is really important. I also enlarged the arm sockets so they fit the new shoulders. After rinsing the body, let's add the scars. Then I use a toothpick to add details around the edges. Now we can start on the gauntlets. This is what I'm most excited about. Cut the forearms in half. With epoxy glue, I stick a magnet to the forearm. I've been wanting to incorporate magnets in my projects. I'm not in the mood to make join plates, so let's use popsicle sticks instead. Here I'm gluing 2 popsicle sticks together. I made 3 stacks and I cut them all in half, so you'll end up with 6 pieces. Apply thin layers of epoxy to the popsicle sticks. It will act as an adhesive, so the popsicle sticks will be more durable. Use the same stuff to conceal the magnets on the forearms. After it's cured, cover the forearms with cling wrap. Apply a thin layer of epoxy on top, kind of like a plate. After the plates are cured, glue the opposite magnets on them. Send the popsicle sticks. Drill holes close to the rounded ends. Trim the other ends flat. I wrap a piece of felt around the forearm using double-sided tape. This will make a room for the sleeves to slide into in the future. Then I cover them with cling wrap again. Attach the plate to the forearm. And glue a popsicle stick standing up on it. Like this. Then I make out the shape of the bracer using more hot glue. Attach popsicle sticks on either side with bolt and nut to make the wrist joint. With hot glue, I form the basic hand shape. Apply epoxy on top to make the actual hands. At this point, I can already tell the magnets won't be strong enough to hold the entire gauntlets. So we have to use something else, and I got just the right idea. But before we do that, we have to remove the magnets. Sorry magnets, another time maybe. So to connect them, we'll be using phone jack. It connects to parts snugly and it preserves the rotation. It's perfect for this.
See, I'm telling you, I have the mind of a I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that? I don't know, but you know, I'm so creative like that.
Obviously, you need the male and female parts to make this work. The heteronormativity of it all. You don't need the whole male part, so just dissect it. Hold on, can we call this circumcision? This is all you need from the male connector. Drill a hole in the base of the forearm. Plant the male connector in there with some epoxy glue. Glue the female connectors to the popsicle sticks. Eyeball the length of the popsicle sticks. Cut them shorter if needed. Make their positions permanent with a bit of epoxy. Let's test it out, and it works. Of course it works, I made it. Put the felt and cling wrap back on. Attach the bracer armature and start forming the actual bracer. After they are cured, you can get rid of the cling wrap and the felt. Trim the edges. I'm gonna try something crazy. I'm gonna try to make the fingers articulated. And in order to do that, I had to make cavities in the hands, right? I used my rotary tool, but since I formed the hands with hot glue, of course it melted. God damn it, I should have known this would happen. I'm dumb. So let's remake the hands with full epoxy this time. No more cutting corners. I came up with this shape and I make marks for the cavities. I got them attached to the body because I don't want to accidentally make two right hands or something. Using a rotary tool with a carving bit, let's make the cavities. This is what it looks like. What is this called anyway? Dado? What's the right term for this? For the actual fingers, we're going to cut popsicle sticks in half. Bulk them out with some epoxy. You need 10 of them. Cut them the appropriate length so you know which one's the thumbs, which one's the index fingers, and so on. 10 round off both ends of every piece. Slide in the finger, well, the thumb in this case, and drill a hole. Then insert a wire. And there you have it, an articulated finger. I'm an engineer. It's the same thing for the other 4 fingers, except they are put in the same cavity. Why are thumbs a privilege anyway? They kinda look janky, but I'm taking the win from the mechanism. I feel like this is the coolest thing I've ever made. Now we can conceal the openings. The sculpting for the body and the gauntlets are finally done. Let's check them out. I think they look pretty cool. They look okay. They look good. They look okay. Let's airbrush the body now and give it about 3 or 4 layers of matte varnish afterwards. After that, I paint the scars. I think they look like shit. Like literal shit. As in feces. Is it because of the color? I don't know. Then the body gets sprayed with Tamiya Color TS80 twice. We begin the body blushing. Spray the body again with Tamiya Color TS80 and draw on the body hair. For finishing, I'm gonna try to use this satin varnish instead of matte varnish, just for fun. I water it down and apply it using my airbrush. It turned out to be glossy. It's alright, I guess. Put the head back on. I protect the body with some plastic bag because we're going to do some facial modification. If you want to do that, put the head back to the body to prevent cracking and stuff like that. Anyway, when I was working on the face, I had to take a close look at it, right? And then I just realized my big ass head covered the camera, so you couldn't see much. I'm sorry, that's on me. So let's skip over some things and go straight to the results. Here's the finished facial modification. I changed the shape of his nose, I added mask to his brow bone so he has that stern expression, and I got rid of his smile. That sounds mean, but you know what I'm saying. Then I sand it lightly with some sanding sponge. You don't want to use anything too harsh. Here's after the airbrush and I blush the face. Here's the finished face. If you're wondering, where's the eyebrows? I'm planning to glue them on later, just wait, alright? Remove the protective plastic, that sounds like a band's name. I glue on some black yarn weft to make his eyebrows because right now he looks like a fucking tuyul. I also readjusted the camera position if you haven't noticed. After the glue dried, I trimmed them. They look hysterical. For the hair, in the official artwork, he has slick back hair, but in the game, he has spiky hair. I'm going with the spiky hair because I think it looks cooler. First, I glue on a rolled weft to his crown. Then I continue gluing on rows of wefts to cover his scalp. Before I finish it, I'm going to trim the hair now just to give me an idea how it would look. To complete it, I glue one loose weft to the hairline using glue that dries clear. He's surfing Jin Kazama. Yes sir. I glue on more loose yarn weft to do his beard. Here's what the beard looks like. I think it looks great. Now let's tie the arms together with some elastic through the arm sockets to reattach them to the body. Back to the gauntlets, here I'm possessing them with some craft foam to add details and shit. Then I paint them black to prime them. After they dried, I paint them again silver and gold. I find metallic paint appears a lot better on dark surfaces. They look too squeaky clean, so with very diluted black paint, I give them a wash. For those rounds, blue lamp gizmos on his gauntlets, I'm gonna glue on some blue rhinestones. Moving on Moving on to his clothes, here's the pattern for his coat. It has 2 color pieces, 2 sleeve pieces, 2 lapel pieces, 2 back pieces, 2 front pieces, and 1 K piece that gave me brain aneurysm hemming it. First thing you want to do is to sew the back pieces together, stopping at where the slit would be. Here I already top stitched the slit. Sew the front pieces to the back piece by the shoulder seams. Right side together, remember. After that you can attach the sleeves. I glue the cape to the neckline of the coat to keep it in place. I make necessary notches and attach the collar. It should look like this. I still think it's a tricky thing to do. Here I already sewed the other color piece to the lapel pieces. Now match up the lapel pieces to the front pieces and the collar pieces together, sewing them right side together. Cut the corners to release tension and turn it inside out. Sewing lapel can be intimidating, I admit, but I love the look, so I went through all the trouble. Finally, we can hem the sleeves and sew the side seams. Turn it inside out and the coat is done. Well, almost. I sew the bottom part of the collar shut with leather stitch. Then I sew the loose parts of the lapel pieces to the shoulder seam so they don't flap around. I glue 3 thin strips of leather with buckles on the back for details. For his wolf brooch, I thought about sculpting it, but then again, what am I, fucking insane? Let's not overestimate my skill. Then I found these color accessories. I didn't know these were a thing, I thought these were earrings, but this couldn't be more perfect. I got a smaller one and the bigger ones just to see which would look better. It was the bigger one. For the pants, it's fairly simple. Now you can make pants out of 2 pieces, but I like the side seam, so I separated the pattern into 4 pieces. First thing to do is sew the front seam. Here's what it looks like. I also added the fly detail. Next, sew the side seams. Sew the waistband. The waistband has been attached. I also hemmed the leg holes. Now sew the back seam, but only halfway through. Here's what it looks like, and cut a slit right under the tab. Now sew the crotch. Turn them inside out. Finally, we can attach snaps for closure, and the pants are done. I'm giving him these shoes. I think these were cans, but I don't know from which doll. I'm gonna paint them black. Then I give them 3 layers of watered down glossy varnish to protect them and to mimic leather. I made this piece out of craft foam for the belt buckle, and I'm going to prime it with black paint. For the, I don't know what are these supposed to be. Are these supposed to be ammos? Are these supposed to be grenades? I think these are ammos, but why the fuck are they so damn big? I cut hot glue stick into small pieces and primed them with black paint. Then I paint the buckle silver. And paint the grenades, I mean the ammos, gold. For the belt, it's just a strip of platter with snaps. I glue another strip on top of it, but only at the center part. Then I glue on the buckle. Using the loose ends of the top strip, I'm going to create sleeves for the ammos. I glue another strip that goes diagonally from the center of the belt. This is for the part that wraps around his thigh. Put it on a doll and measure where the snaps would be and attach them. I added more ammo sleeves and the belt is done. Let's check it out. Now for the main accessory, which is his gun, I'm going to be using this glycerin cap for the cylinder. I cut a slit like this. I made this shape out of craft wood for the base of the grip. I insert it to the slit. I attach wire for the armature of the trigger guard. I drizzle hot glue on the inside to keep things in place. For the barrels, I'll be cutting this small PVC pipe into pieces, 6 to be precise. I sand them so paint will adhere better. I glue them to the cylinder. Now we can complete the construction with epoxy. Here's what we have. It looks cute. Now we can paint it. Give it a coat or two of watered down gloss varnish for protection, and everything is done. That was quite a journey, but finally we can call it a doll. A little re-evaluation about the arm sockets. I made them straight for Perry, curved for Samuel, and angled for Roger. For some reason, I think making them at an angle looked the best. There are things I like about the doll, there are things I don't like. I like the hair, I like the beard, the facial modification was fun, I like the clothes and accessories, and I definitely like the gauntlets. I don't like the eyebrows, I don't like the face up, I don't like the skin tone. The color is just weird, really. But I can overlook all that because of the gauntlets. The gauntlets are really a winning point to me. So even though he is not the best doll I've customized, he is still very special to me. This is the sole reason why I wanted the fingers to be articulated so he can flip off. Anyway, this is the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe if you want to. See you in the next one. Bye.